So I'm Debra Coyle. I'm Executive Director of New Jersey Work Environment Council, and we're a coalition of 70 labor community environmental organizations. And we really work at the intersection of the labor and environment movement. And about 7 years ago, with Environment New Jersey and Green Faith, we launched Jersey Renews, which is a coalition of diverse stakeholders. And that's really the vehicle that WEC works on our clean energy and climate goals. So it's great to hear, some of the work that's happening and some of the job opportunities. Really, when we look at the wind port in New Jersey, I don't think that can be overstated. What a game changer that's going to be down in Salem County, right? And the one thing that, as Karen said, the beautiful thing about the wind port, like New Jersey, right? It's always location, location, location. We have a great location with the wind port because it's in access of 50% of the available lease sites on the East Coast. So it's not just for New Jersey. It's really, we have quite an opportunity there. And it's really, great to hear that that's being built with union labor. I had the privilege of being able to see that a few months back and seeing the progress that's been made already down there. It's just really, it was really something you have to see in order to believe what's happening. So certainly we have those types of jobs, building out the wind port, certainly EEW, Paulsboro, where the monopile facility that has been, Paulsboro, located on the Delaware River, is a working middle class working town, and that really has brought back jobs there as well. And one thing I just kind of wanted to take a step back and kind of put this in context, because what we look at for Jersey Renews and WEC, as we're like, this is really like the clean energy revolution, right? And we want to make sure as we're creating these jobs, these are really jobs that are going to reinvigorate and rebuild the middle class here in New Jersey. And we see that through the lens of creating good union jobs. And really, when we think about, how big these structures are, and thinking about like what goes into them, and thinking about the types of jobs that the offshore wind industry can build. And the other thing I'll just say is that, as we look at this, it's not just about construction, and construction is critically important. And in New Jersey, as you said, the wind port is union labor. These projects are going to be built with union labor. That's critically important, but it goes beyond that. It's really about operations, maintenance, and supply chain. And the supply chain and manufacturing is a piece that we're very interested in. So as we think about, what on average, like a megawatt, like what really goes into a megawatt when we think about the supply chain piece of it. So on average, 1 megawatt of wind capacity requires 103 tons of steel. It's a lot of steel, 402 tons of concrete, 6.8 tons of fiberglass, 3 tons of copper, and 20 tons of cast iron. And manufacturing, so what are we talking about? We're talking about wind turbines, gearboxes, lighting components, transformers, HVAC cables, manufacturing and fabrication services, painting and coating, machining, casting, injecting mold, shipbuilding, and outfitting. So there's a lot of different job categories that's just going into the building of it. And then you have the auxiliary jobs that would be created, thinking about like the in-office white collar jobs, again, going back to the wind port, thinking about all the jobs that are going to be created once that wind port is up and running full capacity with manufacturing sites located in there. You're going to be thinking about, okay, what are the auxiliary services around that? So thinking about, are there going to be new restaurants that pop up, or luncheonettes, or places that people can go at their lunch break? That will create secondary jobs that build out of this. So it really starts snowballing when you think about the types of jobs that this will create. It's a very diverse universe. And in New Jersey right now, we're committed to over 5 gigawatts of offshore wind. So what I gave you, that was just for 1 megawatt, and we're committed to over 5 gigawatts. And the other thing I would say, again, from our perspective, what we want to see as we're building this up is, again, making sure that they're not just union jobs. Certainly, we would like to see that, but also making sure that they have strong labor and worker provisions as well. That's of the utmost interest to us, is particularly when you look at projects that have any public money attached to it. We want to make sure that these are good employers, they have good safety records. And again, that we want to be creating jobs that are family sustaining jobs. New Jersey is a very expensive state to live in. We don't need to be creating low wage jobs here. We need to be doing this and creating middle class jobs. They're really careers. And I would also say, as we think about jobs, there is going to be a transition, right? That's what we're talking about: offshore wind, renewable energy, clean energy. As we transition from traditional fossil fuel jobs, what happens to those workers? And that's another piece that my organization looks at as well. How are we going to make sure that they fit into this new clean energy economy? It's not as simple as taking a refinery worker and saying, go build a solar panel. One, there's wage disparity there. Two, there's also job retraining. So really have to think through what that looks like. As some of these jobs come offline, how are we going to plug them into jobs that are coming online? Is there workforce development? Is there new training that needs to be done? Are these jobs in the same community? So really taking a closer look at that piece. And a study did come out by the Applied Economic Institute in 2021 that, looking at the transition from New Jersey from fossil fuel to clean energy, more jobs will be created here in the state. So that certainly is good news for us. But again, just being cautious and being very thoughtful about how we're transitioning workers into the new economy. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I know that New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program is doing mapping right now of current New Jersey manufacturers about how they can plug in to the offshore wind sector as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. It's, we have a Governor Murphy, that's very committed to offshore wind. Certainly New Jersey had a setback last fall, but that was just one project. And certainly, since then, a new award has come out. And just today is the comment deadline to the Board of Public Utilities on the forced solicitation. So if anybody here attending is from New Jersey, you may want to submit a comment to the Board of Public Utilities in support of offshore wind, because we want to see this. We don't want to see the industry slow down, because we want to make sure New Jersey stays a leader in this space to give us the best advantage to capturing the jobs and the economic opportunity. And I'll stop there.